Hi, welcome back. It is Ray Michaels, Grassroots 50, Total News, Total News Nation. We're here with Alexander Spellane.
Yes, we are.
Wow. Now,
Hello.
I'm looking all over. We're here at America Fest 2023. I'm looking all over, and all I see is Fisher Capital everywhere in the convention center. Now, you are Fisher Capital.
I am the CEO and founder of the company. It's amazing to be a part of this. I mean, yes, there is a lot of branding for our company. We happen to be the largest sponsor, and we are the title sponsor of America Fest for 2023. We were also the title sponsor of 2022, and TPAC's Action Conference in Florida as well. I just was at Mar-a-Lago last Saturday, not this weekend, but the weekend before. So we've done a lot of sponsorships with Turning Point. I'm actually in the top 1% of donors of anyone who's ever donated.
That's amazing. And so you truly believe in what's happening right now, bringing the conservatives together and getting out a message that needs to be sent out.
You know, absolutely. I think it's the single most important organization in the conservative movement. And what I'm seeing is much larger turnouts every time that I attend one of these events or the investor breakfasts, or I just talked to Charlie and just see how things are doing. And I can tell you that it really is amazing to have a company where our clients are actually very conservative, the clients who buy physical gold and silver. So to be able to turn our profits into bigger purpose is really something I'm very fortunate to do. And there is a mutual benefit. You know, they allow us to promote Fisher, and in turn, we promote them. So it's a great deal that we have working. So
Alexander, tell us a little bit about you. What's your background?
I don't have much of a background. I didn't go to college. I didn't buy into it. I resonate with Charlie's message that college is a scam. The number one reason I didn't go to college was because I didn't know what I was passionate about. So the last thing I would want to do is put myself in debt, pursue a career that I don't have any experience hands-on with, and then come to find out, realize I don't even want to work in that field. Right. So I think that, what I ended up being passionate about was music, actually. I moved to Los Angeles 10 years ago to pursue acting and music. I got a normal 9-to-5 job in sales. And when I got that job in sales, I realized I was really, really good at selling. So, I just pursued that career and dropped music afterwards. And then, I worked at ranks, and I became number one at every firm I worked at, until I had enough money to start my own firm, and that's the story.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you say music. Are you a performer? Do you like writing?
I played in bands. I worked as a hired gun guitarist for a lot of local artists in Los Angeles. I was looking for a lead and rhythm, whatever you need, and I sing and play piano as well. I did a few acting gigs here and there, but the reality was I couldn't get a big break. I didn't make enough money doing it, and I really believe that if you want to be a true master of your craft, you've got to do it full time. So, it was not practical for me to do music full time, 8 to 12 hours a day. It's like, how can I do that if I've got to pay for my rent? And it just didn't make sense for me. I still do it as a hobby. And what I'd like to do is just get involved. The church I go to already has their whole music section worked out, but I'd love the opportunity to play guitar in a church or just some sort of worship. And that's pretty much it. That's as far as I would take it, just because I see so many business opportunities right now that I just am not interested in music in any other capacity. So that's it.
Well, I'll tell you what, there are people that live in LA 40, 50 years. They live that lifestyle that you just talked about. They never make it.
Right.
They're time to retire. They have no money saved. And they're like, okay, now what do I do? Right? So you were very smart. So you gathered enough money to start your own company, and you focus mostly on precious metals.
That's right.
All right. So were you surprised? I guess it was just in the last week or so that gold now is way back up, huh?
I'm not surprised at all. I actually think the price is probably suppressed to some extent, the same way I feel that the stock market's overinflated to an extent. So I think it just comes down to timing and positioning. Market cycles always come to an end at some point. We have historically gone to a recession every 8 to 12 years, and I believe we're long overdue for one. So if we look at the last recession, how gold responded to that action, and that was also not just while the stock market crashed, but while real estate got slashed as well. Gold ended up doing 255% from 2007 to 2011. It's one of the best performing assets you could have held during that time period. Silver actually did even better. It did over 390%. So those are real numbers that I think that a lot of people don't actually, they're not even aware that gold has had these big runs where it's performed that way. I don't encourage people purchasing precious metals for the purpose of growth. It does not have a yield. It's like the same way a stock in price, and you can cash out if you buy low and sell high. You can do that with gold. But I encourage it just so conservatives have real ownership in their portfolio. I do think there is a lack of ownership, and there's an agenda to separate the American people from actually owning real assets.
Well, you know, a lot of people don't know the history of gold here in the United States. I'm sure you're well aware of it. We were on the gold standard. We had all this set up. But now when you look around the world, you see a lot of companies, or excuse me, a lot of countries that are heavily gathering this gold.
The BRICS nations, right?
Yes.
Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And yeah, I mean, it's scary to see all the world superpowers that are not in support of the United Nations all holding hands. Well, the presidents all holding hands in a picture together, talking about a new reserve currency. I think that naturally it's obvious that their goal is to throw the U.S. dollar, and they want to throw the U.S. dollar for oil trade. And they've already had several attempts at that. Russia and China are now doing their own deals. They've tried to convince Saudi Arabia. I think that if you have enough traction and the dollar gets weak enough, it's very possible you could see that scenario. I did see a tweet from the Russian embassy where they did state that the reserve currency will be backed by gold. And that's what Russia's doing right now. If you want to buy oil from Russia because they opened that pipeline, you know, Donald Trump would have never let that happen. But now that pipeline's open, if you want to buy oil from Russia, you have to buy it with rubles. But you cannot buy rubles with the American dollar. You got to trade your dollars for gold and then gold for rubles right now.
Wow, I don't think a lot of people know about that.
They don't.
But you know, you talked about you know, the American dollar. A lot of people think that it's backed by something. It's backed by the confidence of the government. It's not backed by something tangible. We're not on the gold standard anymore. Those and I encourage everybody, pick up a dollar bill, pick up a $10 bill, $20 bill. It says this is a Federal Reserve note. It's a promissory note. There is no value to it. And if all of a sudden one day you wake up and they say, "Oh yeah, we're not going to pay that note,"
yeah,
I could write you, I owe you $10,000 and give it to you. It's only backed by my performance.
That's right. I mean, the dollar is backed by just credit at this point. There is no collateral. And the scary part is when you see federal, corporate, and consumer debt at all-time highs. They are all three at the highest they've ever been.
Astronomical.
And it's just continuing to surmount. There is no end in sight, and there's no solution to the problem. I think that it's very scary to think what this country could look like for our kids and grandkids at this point. I have a young son and a young daughter. I support Turning Point because I need this country to be here in 15 years. If this administration keeps spending the way they are, my kids will end up inheriting a lot of debt, and they will almost be enslaved to this debt. And guess what? A lot of the debt is foreign debt at this point. So
we're physically borrowing money.
That's right.
To give to other countries.
That it doesn't make any sense.
It's not
sustainable.
At all. You know, it's funny because President Trump said drill, baby, drill. And apparently the Biden administration is spend, baby, spend. All they're doing is spending. I'm going to give another billions or trillions of dollars to this person. I'm going to do this. Under what authority are we giving away our wealth to another country and not looking after the people here?
even for the worst reasons. I mean, I know there was $10 million, or maybe it was $10 billion given to India for transgender rights, for example. I mean, I said this in a panel that I spoke on earlier today. I would never donate money. We're talking about how we can have impact in America and how you can turn your profits into purpose. I would never donate money to any foreign country. I would never donate money to any organization that exists outside the United States. We've got to take care of our own first. It's that simple. And there's people suffering here, believe it or not. There's also a lot of people coming here illegally. I'm third generation from 2 immigrants, and they had it so hard. And it is only with their sacrifices that I was able to become in a position where I have the ability to do what I'm doing and be financially successful. That's the only reason why, is the sacrifices they made. That is the American dream. So to see my taxpayer dollars going towards people who didn't make those kind of sacrifices, it really is disheartening.
And not only that, but they don't want to assimilate into our language, into our culture, into our customs. They don't want. They want to live their country within ours. And a house divided against itself cannot stand.
It's true. And I mean, I think that there needs to be a serious pledge of loyalty to America if you want to become a citizen here. Otherwise, you should not be. Come here, work on a visa, whatever you want to do, but don't come here if you're not going to be loyal to the country and loyal to the values that we hold dear as Americans and the Constitution.
Amen. Alexander, let everybody know out there, how do we get in touch with Fisher Capital?
You can go to fishercapitalgroup.com. You can also find me on social media and see more about the event and what we're doing. But fishercapitalgroup.com, there's an 800 number, 800-617-5373. If you're looking to make a qualified purchase of physical gold and silver, I've got an amazing team, actually an award-winning team, rated #1 in the industry, and got some really amazing guys, and they will help you educate yourself on what your options are. In times of economic uncertainty, sometimes the best option is just having more options. So if you don't know what your options are, just start by finding out. Make that call.
That's awesome.
And we'll help.
That was a great plug. Love that. All right, Alexander here, Fisher Capital. Thanks so much. Thank you for all that you're doing, not only with your company, but for Turning Point. They're doing some great things all around, working a lot with the youth, being on campuses, changing people's hearts and minds.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Alexander, for doing that. And we are here with Grassroots 50, Total News, Total News Nation. I'm Ray Michaels, and until next time, we'll see you real soon.